the full moon here. I got so much work to do. I was like woke up early, hour early to the job. Call my boy like, where are you? He's like, you're an hour early. So I got stuff to drop, and for me, I'm always looking for pens and notebooks. Epiphany City when I wake up on full moons. When it's like tail end, fresh out of dream state. I'm about to run and grab another coffee at this place, but I got so much stuff I'm tackling that I just want to jump in and lay down some pips. Uh, you know what I mean? To give some people heads up of presentations. A presentation I'm working on, while simultaneously tackling all this stuff and all these deep thoughts to self and correspondence and even just like license plate numbers, how there's like that 911 on that plate right in front of me, and things that I drop in my epiphanies. Um, right now, I want to tap into, I forget the word, but I was going into just how patterns and signals speak, and even words dealing with life as a filing system, as order out of chaos, and then we see the C and the O as with, and then order out of chaos in the acronyms, and in that I also see alternating current rolling names. In the R, I see having to do with vibration, but then again, the context delivers the contact, just like Miromoto Musashi with the double swords shows the symbolism that I show with G force, with the two corresponding G's, with the cross and the circle, with the squaring the circle at the centering of the at the center of the G force. And these are just kind of like, it was like a whirlpool tornado, how I showed the symbols that speak to me. I'm not getting this from anywhere else. Just tying stuff in. And we know that Eagle Scout has to do all with knowledge of tying knots and things like that. So we know that knots is speed dealing with a ship, and we know that it can also be with a quiet K. Notice quiet K also has the same sound, but also just like when we organize things, how we put things in piles or filing systems, either alphabetically or um, or through colors. I'm also going to get into that, how the L turned is a V, so we also see cover and color with the sound and the symbol. But we know that letters and numbers are both 7 letters, even back again, I said it, I'm just repeating it, the letters is 7 letters. Um, I'm dealing with correspondence, and in that we see ESP in correspondence. And I'm speaking on what I'm channeling because I'm also like honestly tuning constantly, trying to play uh, into my groove, and this is my creative spirit that's reflecting truths. So in the truth, I see. I want to speak on this because electromagnetism is 21 letters. Electromagnetic is 20, where we see pair a dime, like a pair of a dime, which we can also see as two crosses or two X's turned. Um, so we see two X's turned can also be two crosses, right? So we see this like electromagnetic and electromagnetism. We can also see like the U. The U is also a magnet, right? It's a what they call like the horse hoof magnet thing. So through the symbols. So there's also a vibration between the rib with Adam and Eve, how I see it. A lot of that is stuff I want to articulate through my presentations, but with the correspondence ESP has a lot to do with things I was thinking, like driving, having to write things down, and like damn, and where I stop to get gas. Well, I do things with corresponding G's. The name of the place is GG, right? GG gas station, and other things speaking to me corresponding after. after my epiphanies, or I don't know. Hang on, lady getting out of the car. So, like in the military, to get into cadence, when you skip a step, a lot of times you learn how to stutter step to get back into your rhythm. So, um, and in that way, distractions can make you even better at balancing. So, when I look at electromagnetism, there's another thing that I think I forgot to write down that I'm trying to think of, but it had to do with electromagnetic. Um, and then if I think of it, I'll put it down on my next. But letters and numbers with a two, but also dealing with the symbol of the cross in the number system. I'm looking at having to do with paradigm, two different ways of looking at it, and then in the walls. So I'm going to get into the four fours and the force, and also how two TWO 43, 53, 58, right? 5 and 8 is 13, 1 and 3 is 4. So from the letter word 2, we get we can get 58, which is 13, which is 4. So the word 2 reduces to the number 4 numerically, just like double the D and the B is like the 4 to the 2. And I also have epiphanies that relate to truth, and that's where I was getting with the electromagnetism um, and the word truth. And I think I skipped a beat, and there was one other word I wanted to add into that symbiotic. It's truth, having to do with the balance of that. Um, so I guess I wasn't quick enough to hit that record button because it skipped my brain, but I'm hoping I could boomerang that. It'll come back to me. I'm helping my boy pruning trees, simultaneously learning about that. Then I got to get back into my detail work. I got a lot of stuff I'm doing, um, but this is the stuff I'm into, and I also want to get into. My boy's calling me, so I gotta rock. So more back into the life and filing system and the word final, just like how N is 14, which is the two sevens, the two L. So we know that. Um, cool. I'm just looking at. Like, that's the color of my eyes. It's interesting. My eyes like change color. Oh man, they say people O negative blood type have eyes that change color. We're supposed to the oldest blood type. I get back into this. I relate things back to me too, and I see like Miramoto Musashi have you see kind of like mirror, and then we see I see O Mu like between the two where they joined as Om Miramoto Musashi, and then we see the sword from the stone here. Um, it's crazy because I heard somebody else say words from tones, and I thought that was my epiphany. But a lot of third eye minds, I think, see things from different angles, and a lot of things might correspond with that. So, um, if I hear somebody else see it, I'm like, oh man. Sometimes I'm like, yo, you must have heard that from me, and then I see like, okay, that was from 7 years ago. Like I saw Santos Bonacci say that God 26. I'm like, okay, a lot of people must crunch numbers like that. But I see shit like that's I get into shit like I tear shit apart, like the sword from the stone here. Like when I say I cut shit apart, I'm just like when I see the 2-6, I also see the BF and the Baphomet, and like multi-dimensionally, um, things speak to me, and I don't always understand it. And that could also be thoughts from other people, and I can't always keep up with my own. Like I'm just aware, you know what I'm saying? Because I can be scattered too, picking up on a lot of things, and it's the whole channeling into the whole concept of meaning. And when I look into the Ming dynasty where all of this came from, like Jesus Christ can look like Genghis Khan, right? And it all corresponds with the Ming dynasty, where we can also see I see dreaming, which is like a red in Ming, which is interesting too, because blue is like afterworld, a lot of blue communication. Um, I explore a lot of colors, but I always come back. You know what I mean? I'm throwing some rocks in the pond here. Some ripple effects for future things I want to ponder about, and I think about that with correspondence. But is where they join with Miramoto Musashi with the two swords, and also we see Moto like motor, and like I say, get gas. I see the two G's in that too, and then when we see the ETS or AS, we can also see ace T, like you could see that as T's, but I also see that as ace, like in tennis. An even balance, they say volley for serve, um, is like love energy. Volley is like love energy, and love is also when it's even, because you're keeping it going back and forth. Volley. Then when you're getting playing in it to win it, you ace. Um, so this is where I want to write stuff down because I feel like I'm deadlier with that. Just like the pen is mightier than the sword. It's also you're talking about the end, like the edge tip. So um, also looking at as creation. Um, so there's a lot going on here in these symbols. It's easier to show what I'm talking about because we could also see M in the symbol. I'll have to rewrite this how I do it on the checkerboard, but we know that M is the 13th letter, and like 1 and 3 is 4, right? So I'm gonna get more into that. I'm gonna get more into that, and then how 7 is Nieves, like night, and we also see Venus like love. Get more into that with the 7, because I want to use my symbols. Um, and then back to the electromagnetism. We see the word true in there in electromagnetism. And there's one other word it's got to come back to me, but when I do my stop and go, this is what I would call a precursor. And it's interesting, precursor. Um, and shout out to people who check my channel. I'm not really promoting my stuff um, till I want to put down some presentations, but I see some people um, added followers. Finish my coffee, and this is just some what I say, um, sneak peeks. I don't know. I'm just hinting at some things I'm going to be doing presentations on, and it has all to do with third eye minds, how I decode symbolism, and then also into the Ming dynasty, how that can also be seen as wing. Um, and I'm also want to get into what I want to get into is channeling and things that have been talking to me like deeply that really speak to you, that correspond in reality, and then timing and how I'm reading these experiences, because it's like the strongest form of magnetism is like your mom, right? especially if you're a dude, right? And then so mom, you got mind over matter, and you got that in Miramoto Musashi, and matter is also like matter or remade. Different ways we can play around with that, and then we also see mate in there too. Different ways we can play around with that, like checkmate and things like that. Um, but you know what I'm getting at is that alpha omega, that symbol I was shown as the power button, as the alpha omega. So there's words like adult only where they say 18 and over. Well, we know 18 is R, like vibration. So I look at things multidimensionally into practical understanding, and things that I don't understand, I always try to pivot step and always take back to center, to grounding. Um, so I'm gonna get more into that. Um, I don't want to lose track because I'm getting coffeeed up, getting into my day. But I'm gonna get also into color, cover, and different ways I've read, like covert. And because when we look at colors, that's 6 letters. When we look at letters and numbers, there's 7 letters. Um, and there's different ways. I was reading the 7 and the 6 with a G. So this is Renégade. I'm using hashtag Renegade for a reason, and it's got to do with some things I want to put down in my presentation. So if I cut out of here from work early, I'll be able to continue and throw down some of my symbols. But the big one too. I'm getting into the wings, and when you look at the M and the W, how it looks like a bird that's ascending or descending. I'm gonna keep this less than 20 minutes because I don't want to ramble. I want to keep my stuff high energy. And then also when I get into tail moon, and just like tales from the crypt, things like that, also relating to Tesla. And I also want to get into the tail, how I see the dragon tail and the devil horns, and ways that I interpret that. So if anybody's checking my channel, um, you know what I mean? See that I'm spitting some sparks here. If anything's catching fire, to your third eye, man, give me a shout, or feel free to comment, man. I will get back to you. And I'm just looking forward for a better time where I can pull my shit together because I got like a million things going on right now. But you know what I mean? I'm about to let the lion out of the cage here with one of my presentations when I get a second. Um, and then every time I stop a stream, I always remember like some things I meant to say, but like, you know what I mean? That'll be added on my next piece.